Hello and welcome back to Mightier Than the Sword News Channel. My name is Anna Padron.
And my name is Morgan Gello. Today we'll be diving into the topic of anti-slavery passion.
If you missed yesterday's video about women's rights and temperance, as well as sexual exploitation and racism, click here for more information.
With our topic of passions of anti-slavery, more key topics regarding the key to Uncle Tom's Cabin, William Lloyd Garrison, as well as other abolitionists, inspiration for the book, and the conclusion of why Uncle Tom's Cabin had such a strong message will be presented.
Hello, and we're back to talk about our first main topic, the key to Uncle Tom's Cabin. So, Stowe wrote her book to defend her novel against complaints that pro-slavery supporters argued that the slavery in her book was false and exaggerated. As well as that point, she used real-life characters to explain that these false comments were all but false. As well as that, she stayed neutral throughout her novel, providing hope towards both blacks and whites.
And next we will be jumping over to Maddie Evans as she interviews William Lloyd Garrison.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and today you're tuning in for a very special interview with William Lloyd Garrison. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I started the Anti-Slavery Society. That was one of my biggest accomplishments.
And who do you not get along with?
Me and Miss Beecher don't really get along anymore because she disagreed with my statement that America must repent for its sins by immediately freeing all of the black enslaved slaves. And yeah, she did not like that.
Okay, so Harriet was really suspicious about the Garrisonian abolitionism. Thank you, and now back to Morgan and Anna.
Next, we will be handing you off to Maddie Evans as she dives deep into other abolitionists during this time period.
Hi, I'm back, and we're going to be talking about other abolitionists. One being James G. Birney. He was a wealthy slaveholding family, and he founded the Philanthropist. Another one is Theodore Dwight Weld, a city anti-slavery leader. He enrolled in Lane Theological Seminary, and he married the feminist abolitionist Angelina Grimke. He was also known for writing America Slavery as It Is.
Next we will be diving into more evidence and inspiration from her book with real characters and people.
Next, I will be describing evidence and inspiration for why Miss Stowe wrote her book, including many notable characters and people. She first had a lot of special relationships with her former servants and bonded with blacks ever since she was a child. This specific moment was shown on page 97. A character noted was Eliza Harris in her passage north. With this, she was able to show how her family helped her prevent her capture back to the South, and this was described on page 99. The fugitive slave law was also presented, and she added her thoughts toward this act. Another individual was John Rankin. He was the father of abolition and the Martin Luther of this movement, shown on page 99. Lastly, Josiah Henson was described on page 105 and his freedom in Canada.
Josiah Henson was born into slavery in Maryland and sold as a child to Isaac Riley. He was later appointed to become superintendent of the farm because of his strength and intelligence. At the age of 22, he married a slave woman, which he had 4 children with while being enslaved. Henson showed extreme loyalty to Riley, who in which return entrusted him with exceptional responsibilities and allowed him to become a preacher in the Methodist Episcopal Church. However, whenever Henson attempted to buy his freedom, Riley cheated him and made plans to sell him to the South. Fearing separation from his family, Henson fled north with his wife and children in the summer of 1830. He settled in Drenson, Ontario, Canada, and became a preacher and a leader in the Afro-Canadian community, and later on began to travel back into the United States to help other slaves escape. He founded the British American Institute in 1842, an Afro-Canadian community with industrial school intended as a refuge for escaped slaves. Henson made his first several trips to England, where he was received by high society, and he married a Boston widow following the death of his first wife. Lastly, I will hand you over to Marcus that will conclude why Uncle Tom's Cabin has such a strong message.
Hey, it's Marcus, and this is why Uncle Tom's Cabin had such a strong message. Uncle Tom's Cabin has a strong message because it interested Christians, including the appeal of the better angles of our nature, as shown on page 116. Stowe was also able to form that attraction by saying slavery could be gotten rid of only if the nation faced up to its sins, also on page 116. Since speeches, sermons, and politics could not get rid of slavery, it also changed the perspective of many of the readers because they were able to see the difference of slave narratives because of how she included efforts to present Southerners as favorable as possible.
Here is a relevant item that is able to describe the passions of both slavery and anti-slavery supporters. Flags during this time was a common use of persuasion in a way to show what that group of supporters believed. Shown by this flag, we are able to see that the individuals waving this flag believed that the Union could not exist without the addition of slavery. During this time, the South would most likely agree with this statement, leading the North, or otherwise known as believers against slavery, to disagree with the statement strongly. They held a strong belief that the Union would be created without the idea of slavery.
Thank you for tuning in
To the Mightier Than the Sword News channel.
Hope you have a great day.